Sam!
Cut that out, Linda. How many times I have to tell you, son, slow down. You'll live longer.
Oh, I got a million things to do. I've been trying for 2 days to get on the road for home. Congressman sent me down here to lay the groundwork for his new campaign.
Running off to Texas, are you?
Yeah.
Might you also be planning to see Boss Taylor's daughter?
Well, yes, sir.
Fine young woman.
Yeah, I've asked her for her hand.
Oh, yes? What do you think she's going to say then?
Oh, I wish I knew, Mr. Sam. It ain't easy putting words in other people's mouths.
Don't be too sure, Lyndon. I've been doing it for years. How do you hope to support a wife on that piddly salary you make as secretary to Congressman Cleaver?
Well, it won't be easy. That's for sure. You know what burns me sometimes, Mr. Sam? It's me that runs that whole damn office, if the truth be known.
Oh, it's known. Lyndon, if I was a betting man, I'd wager that someday you're going to be riding up with me on this very elevator.
Yeah, and if I do, I bet I'll be riding with the Speaker of the House.
Have yourself a time in Texas, Lyndon. Let's go.
I'm taking the Cadillac to Texas, Otis. The Congressman will make do with the pack.
Now, Lyndon, Mrs. Cleaver told me not to...
No, I got his permission. I'll bring you some fresh okra from my mama's garden.
But, till I...
Who's stealing my Cadillac?
Driven all night. Iris? Iris, help me find a beautiful dress. Lyndon's here. Oh, Aunt Effie, I'm sorry.
I should say so. If you could see yourself running around.
How about this one, Miss Ladybird?
Ladybird, I don't want you going off and doing something you'll regret.
I won't. You brought me up right.
I sincerely hope so. I don't like the thought of losing you. Not one bit. You're all I've got in this world.
How about this one?
No, it's so bold.
So's your Mr. Lyndon.
Lyndon is different, Iris. He isn't like anybody else I ever met around here.
No, ma'am, he is not.
Maybe his being not quite so tatty as some makes him attractive. I don't know. He scares me. Excites me.
Lyndon, you must have drove with your foot to the floorboard.
All night. Broke every speed law in the book.
That daughter of mine coming down here, isn't she?
Tell me something, Mr. Boss. Just how mad would you be if I was to talk bird and tip open with me today?
Saturday. You can't get a license.
You can get anything if you know how to pull the right strings.
Lyndon?
There's my honey. Come here.
Lyndon, put me down. You must be worn out from your trip.
Worn out, hell. I've never been so fired up. Hey, come on, honey. Now I'm going to take you for a spin in a Cadillac.
A Cadillac?
Yeah, nothing's too good for my sweetheart. You grab your purse, Bird. Let's go. Come on.
Bert. Just a little advice, honey. You make your own decisions. But I can tell you, some of the best horse trades I ever made in my life, I've made in a hurry. You keep that in mind.
Well, Daddy, but I
Good,
don't
good.
understand.
Off you go. Don't want to keep a good man waiting too long now. Hmm?
You love me like I love you.
I expect only time will tell.
Sometimes I get the feeling that I don't appeal to you like a husband should.
Don't be silly, it's not that. Watch the road.
Yeah, you don't consider politics much of a profession, do you?
I really don't know that much about it. But since you do have so much drive and ability, it seems such a waste not to put it to use in a more respectable way.
There's only one thing I know for sure, honey. I'm going places.
Talking about going places, will you look? We're already down in Trinity County. Lyndon, where are you taking me? Right now, this minute. San Antonio?
If I step on it, honey, we can have the ceremony tonight.
You mean get married?
Yeah, I got my assistant, Billy Bob Prather, down there waiting by telephone, ready to make all the arrangements. All you have to do, sweetheart, is say the word.
Be serious, Lyndon. We can't just run off and
I've
get
never
married.
been more serious in my life. You and I are gonna get married. I got $5,000 in life insurance, got a job, I got a Cadillac to take you to your wedding.
But I'm not Claudette Colbert, playing some madcap heiress who ups and elopes with a chauffeur.
You mean with a man who wasn't born her equal?
I surely did not mean that.
It don't bother you none that I'm a poor boy from the hill country and I scratch when I itch? Because if it does, you just say the word and I'll turn this Cadillac around on a dime.
Lyndon, I wouldn't want a man with a coat of varnish.
Well, what do you want? Huh? You want to marry some feed and grain dealer and live out the rest of your life in Karnak, Texas? Huh? Is that what you went to college for, to think small? Hell, Bert, you're the one who's always talking about going to faraway places. You're too intelligent to be wasting your life on small dreams. You belong with me, in the thick of things, rubbing elbows with important people, and maybe even seeing history being made.
What if I can't do it?
And what's that supposed to mean?
I might be too shy for that kind of life.
Well, if you are, I'll just have to cure you of it, that's all. I'll get you to say can do instead of can't do. You'll see, there's nothing to it. Listen to me, Bird. I know what I'm asking. But there's a time for pondering, and then there's a time for doing. It's like my daddy always says. He says, you gotta know when to seize the moment. Well, right now is our moment. Bird Taylor, are you willing to put your trust in me and take the plunge? Hold it, not yet.
Lyndon, this is all going so fast.
Oh, don't worry, it's gonna be fine. Now, come on.
But we need to talk more.
We got the rest of our lives for talking.
But Daddy's not here to give me away.
Doesn't matter, he already has. Hey, Reverend, got the license?
You knew what I had to do to get this issued without the usual waiting period.
I don't recall whining about what I had to do up in Washington to get you those special postal rates for your church bulletin.
Politician.
Lyndon, we don't even have a ring.
ask and you shall receive. God bless Sears Roebuck and my good credit.
Billy Bob not marrying me a harem.
Well, I know, but you didn't tell me what size, so I brought her a choice.
Well, pick one, darling. Don't be cheap.
Lyndon, I don't honestly know if I can go through with
Well,
this.
this one looks all right. Okay, we're ready. Everybody in your places. And...
Just a minute. Johnson, before this goes any farther...
Reverend, look, our wedding supper's over at the St. Anthony Hotel getting cold, so if you wouldn't mind keeping this short, nothing long-winded or highfalutin.
I don't tie the bonds of matrimony with a slip knot. In fact, I'm not going to tie them at all, unless this young lady tells me she's willing to proceed.
Well, take your time.
Well, yes or no?
We have come this far.
Then perhaps it would be best to go the rest of the way together.
Hit it!
By the window.
Oh, he's sharp as a tack. People come from all over to seek his advice.
Linda got herself another gal.
A nice car, Linda.
Where'd you get a car like that? You
going home from Washington, Linda. You running for president? Yeah.
Got down on knees and said, Lord, if I got religion, let me feel a drop of juice.
Go right on in the house now. Well, go on now. She's not going to bite you. Go on.
People cut down on next time I said, Lord, I got religion.
You finally found when you drink home, huh?
Now, look, I want you to go shave and gargle, too. You put yourself together. I can't have you planning an 80-proof kiss on my new bride.
What? Did you say bride? Why you that rascal here? That's before
You must be Mrs. Johnson from Lady Bird.
Lady Bird who?
Look at you! Mama, I want you to meet Mrs. Lyndon Baines Johnson.
It was a sudden decision.
Why don't you show Bird the scrapbook on me while I go out to the privy, huh?
So, my Lyndon is now your Lyndon.
I love him very much.
I hope you can find it in your heart to share him.
Share him?
I mean with others. Many, many, many others. Lyndon has the rare and God-given quality of leadership. He takes after his daddy's kin. The Johnson men could always be found in the thick of things. Drinking, smoking, talking.
Believe me, I already know about the talking.
Lyndon's daddy served in the Texas state legislature. But Lyndon is going much further than Austin.
Excuse me, but Lyndon told me he hadn't yet settled on a career.
My son has always been aware of his destiny. Greatness is stamped on him like a mark from heaven. I only hope that he has prepared you for your role.
Oh my word, there's a Lincoln Memorial.
Don't it excite don't you, honey? I brought you to the center of the world, huh? Can't you just feel it?
Oh, look, there's the Washington Monument. Lyndon, stop, please. I want to take a picture.
No, we don't have time. We got to get back to the office.
Shouldn't we go by the apartment first and freshen up?
Business before pleasure, huh? Bird? Congressman Kleberg, wait up.
Hey. Johnson, you're back.
Back to bridegroom. Bird, I want you to meet my boss, Congressman Richard Kleberg.
Hello, Congressman.
Well, your photo don't do you justice. My apologies for hurrying, but I tee off in 15 minutes.
Calling up HB 417 for a floor vote today.
HB 417. Now, which one is that?
The Emergency Fire Mortgage Act. Best vote's aye.
That's the one that's pure de-socialism.
Well, all I know is that our farmers need it. Otherwise, a lot more of them are going to get thrown right off the land. Besides, you got no choice but to vote for it.
I don't?
No, first, the mail's running 30-1 in favor of it. And second, it's going to pass in a landslide. And since you can't stop it, you might as well get credit for it from the people who are going to vote come November.
Yes, well, maybe you could see me in my office at 4 o'clock. I'm wanting to chat with you.
I'll have the office back in running order in no time. Come on, Bert.
Goodbye.
Oh, hey there, Lyndon. How's the honeymoon?
How come only one typewriter's in operation here? Does this office stop when I'm away?
No, sir. Mail's on your desk, boss.
Oh, did I ask that? Who was that on the telephone?
Oh, what's his name? That big lobbyist from Austin's in town. Want to see the congressman?
Is Roy Miller?
Yes.
Where's he at?
Sure.
Billy Bob, what's my rule now? Every phone call gets answered and every incoming letter gets returned the same day. Let's start humping. Hello, Shoreham? Put me through to Roy Miller. Tell him it's Lyndon Johnson on the line.
The message was for my husband, the elected congressman.
Miss Kleberg.
Who's that?
My bride.
Well, my goodness. Come over here and let me have a look at you. What's her name?
Bird.
Bird?
Mm-hmm. She's as pretty as a ladybird.
Oh, that's precious. A little brown sparrow.
This is Miss Kleberg.
I'm afraid we're just up from Texas. We drove straight to Lyndon's office.
In my best car. If you don't mind excusing us, me and this brand new hubby of yours are going to pick a bone. Lyndon's office? Is that what it is? Lyndon's office.
Miss Kleberg, it's about borrowing the car. I got the car.
I don't give a damn about the car. What I won't tolerate anymore is your turning my husband into a political steer.
What are you talking about?
That's right, play dumb. Ever since Richard took you on here as no more than a common secretary, you have been undercutting him every which way. Taking authority upon yourself, weaseling yourself in between him and his biggest constituents, like I just caught you, playing up to his colleagues, and touching them like you hope their power will rub off on you.
Miss Kleberg, I'm just doing my job the best way.
You are a conniving bastard, an egg sucker, an upstart.
Please lower your voice. My wife is right outside.
Let her hear. She'd better know she married a four-flusher and a borrowed Cadillac. Ignorant dirt farmer from a family of cheap politicians. Poor white trash, that's what you are. A nobody from the hill country who will have tobacco juice on his shirt until the day he dies.
Miss Kleberg, why are you treating me like this?
Because it's my last chance. Now, you better get out there and clean out your desk, because the congressman is going to fire you before this afternoon's over.
Fire me? I just got married.
Well, maybe that's your second mistake. Now, get out!
Lyndon, if this is what living in Washington does to people, give me Texas.
I won't be whipped. I'm going up in this world, Bird. Up so high that nobody can ever look down on me again.
Beats me how you always wake up so sweet and cheerful.
It's early. We can snuggle.
No. Parade's passing me by.
Lyndon, the sun is barely up and already you look like a mule with his foot stuck in a hole.
Every day goes by and I'm here not in Washington. That's just how I feel.
But you're doing wonderful work with the Youth Authority. You've gotten thousands of jobs for those kids.
We gotta educate them too. Get their daddies back to work.
Lyndon, I love being back home in Texas.
Just think how much more I could do back in Washington.
I can't think of a better place than right here to start raising our family.
You can't say we ain't been trying.
Morning, Lillian. Morning, Grace. Who's that?
That's opportunity knocking.
I see you heard the same sad news.
Well, don't think that I don't mourn that fine old gentleman, but there's an empty chair up there in Congress that's got to be filled, and I'm the one to fill it. And I'm going to need your backing.
Whoa, now. You think you're the first young buck to come blundering in here with a handful of want and a mouthful of gimme?
No, but I'm the smartest.
Maybe not the smartest, but the tallest. Lyndon, this morning I had a meeting with some of my clients. Word is that the widow Buchanan may announce. If she does, man would be a fool to run against her. It'd be political suicide.
Judge, I'm not saying it'll be easy, but this is a chance of a lifetime.
You'd be the longest shot on the ballot. Who'd vote for you?
Out there, the farmers in the hill country. They're my natural constituency.
They won't even hear about this election till it's over with. They don't read the newspapers, they don't have radios, they don't vote, they're ignorant.
My people are not ignorant. And they'll vote for me. They know how hard I've worked for them up there in Washington. They know I'll get them those things they desperately need. Paved roads, post offices, those power dams. They got a right to live in the 20th century just like you and me and everybody else. And if you're not going to help me...
Not a bad little political speech. I trust you understand that grand designs are woven by tit for tat.
Sure.
Good. Say you're right about the votes, and you can solve the widow problem. That's just the half of it.
What's the other half?
The ante to get in the game, to prove you're serious before I can help you.
I got 3,000 in baby bonds I'm going to cash in.
That's chicken feed. I'm talking about real money. I don't know where you're going to get it.
How much?
$10,000.
I'm not asking you for it. I'm just telling you what he said.
That's an awful lot of money.
It surely is hard scrabble.
Worse. Soul killing. Folks here, they break their backs day in, day out, and go to their graves with nothing to leave their kids except more of the same. It's wrong. flat out wrong.
Hey, Linda.
Hey, Floyd, how you doing?
Good.
How's your boy?
Oh, he's just fine.
Oh,
I want to thank you for getting him that job at the NYA.
Anytime I can be of help.
Yeah.
Where's my daddy? You see
Oh,
him?
he's right over there next to the post on the
yeah.
sir.
Hey, Schumann.
Thanks, huh?
Yeah, how's that daughter of yours? I heard you got married, huh? You must be busting your butt.
That be all, Lyndon.
Lyndon, good to see you. How you doing? Good to see you. There he is.
Hey, Lyndon.
How you doing, Daddy?
Just fine, son, just fine. What brings you up here?
Well, I guess you heard that Buchanan died.
Yep.
I'm thinking of running for his seat.
You are you? You think you can pull it off?
Well, not if the widow runs. I'm going to kind of wait and see what she's going to do.
Damn it, Lyndon, haven't I taught you a thing about politics? She's an old woman. If she knows there's going to be a fight, she won't run. Now, announce now before she does, and she'll back down. Seize the moment, Lyndon, seize the moment. And I'll do everything I can to help you. Here.
What's this for?
Well, you're going to need a hat thrown in that ring, ain't you? Come on, folks, gather around. My boy Lyndon is running for Congress. He's going to give his very first ever campaign speech. Leave off that rim, that hog over there. Come on up here. Get up on that truck there, Lyndon. That's all we can see. Hey, come on over here. Gather around. Hey, come on. Pull that hat in the ring, son.
I guess I don't have to introduce myself.
We ain't got all day, boy.
Well, Mr. Jessup, I'd like to talk for a minute about what's up there buzzing over our heads. It's power. Something the hill country doesn't have. Anybody here got electricity in their house?
Yeah, Lyndon, you do.
That's right, Will. I've been living down in Austin nowadays, and, well, town folk, they just flick a light switch or plug in a light socket. Can you all? Can any of you go into your bathroom and turn on the tap and get running water? Hell no. How about you, Floyd? You fancy having a telephone? When one of your kin's running a fever, would you like to be able to call a doctor?
My missus, she sure would.
Hell, let me tell you folks something. Those big Eastern power companies that string their wires across our land ain't never gonna give us nothing. Those fat tycoons want to use all our Texas juice to light up their damn skyscraper. And I say that ain't fair. I'm saying something's gotta be done.
Lyndon's right. Tell us what's got to be done, Lyndon.
We gotta send us a man to Congress who is a true son of the hill country. A man who ain't afraid to stand up to the big boys. It ain't never happened yet, and it ain't gonna happen now. I'm sorry, Will, but that's just a bunch of can't-do horse manure. I believe in can-do, like the folks who started this country. Like President Roosevelt. You look at all he's accomplished. You elect me, and I'll show you that we can do things down here. I swear, and I only felt this strong about one other thing in my whole life. And that was the day I asked my wife to marry me. Are you with me? Are you with me?
Daddy, talk louder. I can't hear you. What? You say you can give 5,000? Wait a minute. No, Daddy, it has to be 10. Yes. That's what he said. Just words, yes, sir. All right. Bye, Daddy.
What'd you say?
You can't give it to us until Monday.
Oh, I love you. And I got somewhere quick. Come on, honey, we got things to do.
before you good people tonight to introduce a young man who I've only known for a short time.
You sure you're okay, Lyndon?
You got that stomach medicine? How many press out there?
Going from every newspaper from here to Fort Worth and then some. And a bigger crowd than Polk Shelton's rally in Austin, Lyndon, I can tell you that.
Make sure everybody gets a flyer, and I mean everybody. I want it so they can't wipe themselves on a piece of paper that doesn't have my picture on. You hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you.
All right.
Oh, darling, you're all sweaty.
You've chewed all your lipstick off. I'll go put some more on.
Lyndon, you have to see a doctor.
Why the hell you keep wearing those plain Jane dresses? I'll never know. You're hiding your light under a bushel basket.
Lyndon, you have to do something about those pains.
It's nothing, honey. It's just gas.
I mean it. You have to quit. Tonight.
I'll quit when I've talked to the last voter in this district and not before.
Lyndon.
Damn it, I need you with me, not fighting me.
I'm not fighting you. You're sick.
Then help me keep going. Stop sitting on the sidelines. Come on out there and with me and talk to the folks. Hell, women vote too.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
Lyndon, stop it! Stop!
The true son of the hill country, Lyndon B. Johnson!
Oh, Lyndon.
Bird. How'd it come out?
Your appendix? The doctor says you're going to be just fine.
Election.
Oh. Let me see. Polk Shelton got 4,420 votes, but Merton Harris got 5,111.
How many did I get?
Only 8,280. Congressman Johnson, you won. You did it.
They did it, Bird. He came down from the hills for me. For me.
Mr. Sam, I made it.
Sure did. How'd you help?
Oh, fine. I lost my appendix and won my election. You want to see my cross-stitching? Look at that. Is that craftsmanship or what?
Lady Bird, how are you doing?
Oh, I think I'm still in shock.
Yeah, that's from meeting President Roosevelt. I've told him all about needing funding for those power dams.
Keep your britches measured, sir. I hear you're a freshman. You get along by going along.
Yes, sir, that's exactly what I plan to do. Going up.
Watch the doors, please, gentlemen.
Well, it sure is nice to see a friendly face up here in Washington, Mr. Wirtz.
Good to be back.
I tell you, with all the runaround I'm getting from the Appropriations Committee about those power dams, I'd do better to open me up a breeding farm stocked with nothing but mules. I swear I'm the lowest man on a 435-man totem pole.
You were hoping for a little more distinction?
Yeah. Where in the hell is that geology report? I know I'd get that damn bill passed if I could just get it on the floor, but I can't get anybody to listen to me. I swear I had more power when I was Kleberg's secretary.
That's because Kleberg had money. And money is power. Lincoln, why don't you let me set up a meeting with Charlie Marsh and his friend? They've got money. What they don't have is a voice here in Washington. Now, you could be that voice. You could decide which of your fellow Democrats could use that money for their campaign. And I'm sure they'd be eternally grateful to you. And what are you recommending? I turn boodler? Oh, hell no. I wouldn't let you do anything that stupid. Now, what I am recommending is an opportunity to help your constituents, your party, your president, and get your hydroelectric dams built. Lyndon, all I'm saying is that an effective politician has got to be flexible. Remember what Mr. Sam's always saying.
Yeah, you get along by going along.
Correct.
Hello, Judge Worth.
Well, hello, Bird. You're looking pretty.
Thank you. Pardon me. Lyndon, they're not going to hold our lunch reservations much longer.
Call someplace else. I can't leave yet. Billy Bob!
Yes, sir.
Billy Bob? Now, I asked you to get me everything that Interior had on the geology of the lower Colorado and the Pedernales rivers and lay it on my desk. Now, I asked you that, didn't I?
Yes, sir. You surely did.
But, does this mean that you joined the Can't Do Club?
No, sir. We just get so busy there wasn't time.
Well, anybody who works for me makes time. Now, you're fired. You get out and you keep on going. What the hell's the matter with you? That phone's rung 7 times.
You know Lyndon didn't mean go home and come back tomorrow.
It's just that we work so hard.
I know he expects a lot. But he expects even more from himself.
Where you, Congress?
Excuse me, Judge. Call. Yes. This is Lyndon Johnson.
Absolutely don't make them like that
Mama, I can't believe you let things slide this far. Daddy owes people thousands of dollars. Thousands.
It was my practice to leave such matters to your father.
Don't sit there and pretend that you didn't know. How many times did you send me clear over to Fredericksburg to buy groceries because we owe too much money here?
Your father was always more concerned about others than himself. Lyndon, I don't want you to ever forget that even in the hardest times, when people were needy, your daddy was there to help.
I know.
Now, you are the man of this family now. I know that you'll do what has to be done. Bird, you make sure Lyndon doesn't stay up too late tonight.
I will.
Judge?
Mr. Johnson.
I'm gonna pay these off, Judge. I'm just barely squeezing by on my salary now.
Lyndon, what would you think about coming back here to live?
Yeah, we will one day.
I don't mean at the end of our lives. I mean now, at the beginning.
Bird, look, honey, I belong in Washington, all right?
I hate what Washington is doing to you. All that pressure and running around will kill you, sure.
Yeah, well, Daddy lived here most all his life, and he barely turned 60. All the Johnson men die young. I expect I will too.
I won't have you writing the platform for my widowhood.
Bird, I can't waste time like everybody else. Now, whatever the Lord has sent me here to do, I have to do fast.
But what about the money?
Well, what about all the promises I made to the folks around here about having electricity like everybody else? You want me to just quit before I deliver their power dams? Huh? Just give up on everything I've been fighting for?
No, of course not. But if this career is unrealistic, there are other careers.
Why don't you just come out and say it, huh? You don't want me in politics, and you never did.
Now, whoa, hold on there, kid. Lyndon, nobody can hold you legally liable for your father's debts.
Judge, I can't do that to people, not to my neighbors, the men I grew up with. Besides, you know how they look politically. I mean, word would get around that Lyndon Johnson's a flannel-mouthed deadbeat. I'd be done for. If I do pay him off, I'm not going to have any money to finance my re-election campaign, so I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't.
I could still set up that meeting with Charlie.
Judge, my daddy never even took a drink from a lobbyist.
This may not be the right time or place, but it's got to be said. Lyndon, your father was a dreamer. If you want to get anywhere in politics, you've got to learn to be more practical than he was. Think about it.
You do, right?
I want you to get out there and circulate. By the end of the evening, I want you to come to me. Hello, Senator. How are you? By the end of the evening, I want you to come to me with the names of 3 new people that you met. Names, what they do, and how they can help you.
Lyndon, how am I ever going to get started?
You just find something you like about them, give them a compliment. Go put on some more lipstick like I told you. You're not selling for what you're worth. Shoot.
Lyndon, come on over here, son. Well, you put out the welcome mat, Charlie.
Welcome mat? Hell, this is the red carpet.
Congressman Johnson, I'd like you to meet Secretary of Agriculture Henry Wallace.
My pleasure, sir. Mr. Marsh, this is quite a place you got here. Looks like you took Texas and put it smack dab in the middle of Virginia, huh?
I always like to let them know that us Texans know how to throw a big party.
I couldn't agree more. Actually, I'm a fella who likes small parties, and the Republican Party is getting about the size I like it.
Charles, aren't you going to introduce me to Congressman Johnson?
Certainly. Lyndon, I'd like you to meet my friend, Alice Glass.
Welcome to Longley.
Well, I appreciate the invitation.
Charles speaks of you often. He says you're going places fast.
Well, I'm not known for my patience.
Would you care to join me for a game of pool?
I'm sorry, Alice. You're going to have to wait till I introduce Lyndon around.
Judge, you got me just long enough.
Well, I'll be in the game room, practicing.
You can believe me, boys. There's one woman that don't need no practice.
Excuse me, Mr. Marsh. Bird looks like a hound dog lost in the briars.
I'll go with you. Good. How am I going to get to meet the congressman? Lyndon, this is Frank Bishop. You've heard of Texas Federal Savings and Loan.
Oh, yes. How are you?
How about a drink, Bird?
I could use some fresh air even more.
Well, there's a bar on the terrace. You breathe now, drink? Come on.
Another gentleman I'd like you to meet, Herman Brown of Brown and Root Construction Company. Frank, now that Lyndon's got Mr. Sam's help, it won't be long before the House Appropriations Committee approves the funds for those dams.
It's about time we got them power dams back home.
Lyndon Herman's got some ideas about those dams. I'd like you to hear about them.
Well, sir, there's nothing I like better than the opportunity of working with a constituent. You gonna call it?
Oh, 8 ball. Side pocket. Well, it looks like I won.
What do I owe you?
Shall we start with the dance?
Losing was always like this. I'd play more often.
Oh, I shouldn't worry. You aren't going to have too many losses. So what's next? Senate? Oh, don't be bashful with me. I know Washington as well as you do. And I've seen your name on too many lists.
Yeah, what list?
Everybody's got a list. Even I have one.
You thinking of putting me on that one?
You're very sure of yourself.
I'm sure of you.
Really, Congressman?
Yeah, a good politician can walk into a room and know right away who's for him. Tell me I'm wrong, Miss Glass.
Where'd you get that orchid, darling?
Lyndon has certainly charmed Charles Marsh.
And all of his friends.
Lyndon's a man of great talent, great drive. But a big man can have great flaws, too.
I know, Mr. Sam. But I love him.
Ride may be bumpy, but if you're willing to hang on, he loves you, Bert. Don't you ever let him forget how much.
And now I'd like to introduce to you a man whose tireless efforts up in Washington is responsible for the construction of this magnificent dam. The man who brought electricity to the hill country. Ladies and gentlemen, Congressman Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Looks like some chicken walked all over.
Sure? But what's the matter?
It's nothing. I'm all right.
Nothing? Could it be that something we all want so much?
I can't be sure yet.
Shame on Lyndon for not letting his mama in on the secret.
We didn't want to tell you before we were certain.
You mustn't keep things from me, dear.
Buddy, this much concrete out of Uncle Sam just might someday make us a senator. Someday soon. Senator Mo Shepherd's ailing. Don't have another term in it.
Well, gentlemen, as much as I admire that fine old man, I believe that Texas needs a new senator with his eye on the horizon. And I have a strong feeling that with all that trouble over in Europe, America is going to be needing more oil refineries, more factories.
And it's our responsibility to see to it that Texas does not get cut out.
Amen, Charlie. Amen.
Charles Marsh said he had put us onto some promising oil investments, but I told him oil was out. I'm never going to touch the stuff. Poison my chances for a career on a national level. Then we start talking about real estate.
We've just barely paid off all your daddy's debts.
Well, that's why it's time to start thinking ahead. What I'm thinking is that we're going to need more than my congressional salary for me to run for statewide office. Yeah, it was Judge Wirtz that had the best idea. Communications. It's a clean business and it's growing. We can buy into a newspaper or better yet a radio station.
Oh, you love it.
The judge says he knows a good little station over in Austin in the red. It's got a managerial problem. Damn, Bert, are you listening to me?
Lyndon, when have I ever done anything but listen to you?
I don't like that tone of voice. How long before breakfast, huh?
Shake your own in a bowl.
What's the matter with you?
I have been tossed around all night in that airplane, hearing nothing but more talk about money, politics.
I'm surprised you heard anything the way you kept to yourself the whole time.
Lyndon, I'm sick to death of living out of a suitcase, wondering what the next election will bring us.
Politics is what I do. If I was a doctor, I'd be spending all my time in hospitals. You love me, woman. Love my dog, right?
We're going to have a family. And I want a house with you in it. I want a garden with lots of roses.
Bird.
I want a catawba tree.
Bird, look. Now, right now, things are happening for me. For us. Now, we're going places, just like I promised you we would. But for some reason, you won't fall in step with it, see? You keep squeezing yourself smaller when you ought to be blossoming out into the woman that I saw in you from the very first day we met. Now, honey, you got beauty and brains to spare. And if I'm after you, it's only because I want to see you live up to your potential.
I can only be myself.
No, you're wrong. Now, you can be anything you want to be. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to buy you a new red dress and find you one of those beauty shops where they show you how to put on makeup, and I'll make a new girl out of you.
Stop trying to make me over. I don't want to be a new girl.
Honey, things are changing. Women are changing. You look at Amelia Earhart, or Anne Lindbergh, or Eleanor Roosevelt even. You could be like any one of them.
Lyndon, I'm not like any one of them.
Bird, now look, you knew that I was after big things when you married me. Don't you see, you're jipping me out of the kind of partner that I thought I was going to have. Now, I expect you to push yourself to the limit just like I pushed myself.
I've reached my limit. I can't take any more of your badgers.
Oh, if you could just turn this way, Congressman.
You give more orders than my mama.
Now, if you don't cooperate, I can't do my job, sir.
How you doing?
He's doing fine, I'm not.
Would you please stand still, sir?
Here, let me have a look at you. Can't we get these to sweep a little more?
Well, something seems to be happening with the waistline. We don't want the trousers to sag, sir.
You hike him up any higher, I'll turn boy soprano.
Never happened. Maybe if we could drop the gorge another inch?
Keep fussing with me, I'm not even going to look like myself anymore.
Oh, nonsense. Now, the object is to be ahead of the times, not behind.
Sir, if you could distribute your weight evenly on both feet.
I thought I was.
Patience, Lyndon. And stop looking as if you're at the dentist.
Excuse me, but there's a phone call for Mr. Johnston.
I told him not to phone me here. Hello? Yeah, what is it, Billy Bob?
If you'll just give us a...
What?
see her in a little bit.
Is she all right?
Touch and go for a while. She'll be fine now, considering.
What?
For the child. Too soon. Lyndon! You let that woman go, you're a bigger fool than I think you are. I'm sorry.
So am I.
Millie Bumgarner. Her husband's name's Buster.
Millie, it's so good to see you. And how's that handsome husband of yours, Buster?
Just rich. He brings in oil wells faster than these critters can breathe. Oh, I always listen to your radio station.
You like our Stuff the Music show?
It's my favorite.
Well, you keep listening so we can be #1. And can we count on you voting for Lyndon?
You can always count on me.
I know it. I appreciate it. Excuse me. Daryl, I hear you got yourself a grandson.
Best damn looking boy you ever seen. I'm giving fair warning now to all the pretty girls around here.
I have a feeling you should give him fair warning about Grandpa first.
Hey, Bird! Well, I ain't dead yet, Bird.
And don't you go dying until we get Lyndon elected senator, you hear me?
Can do. They're getting restless. Where in the Sam hell is Lyndon?
I'm sure he'll be here any minute.
You better get up there and say a few words.
All right. Hello? Listen up, everybody.
Where's Lyndon?
That's what I'd like to know every night at dinner, Buster. First, I'd like to thank y'all for coming and supporting us. As you know, Lyndon has been the underdog in this election, but we've come on strong. And we intend to keep fighting for votes until the last day of this election. We see our opponent, Governor Coke Stevenson, as a throwback to the past. Lyndon as a true man of the future.
politics for good this time.
How about a picture of the family?
Oh, sure thing. But I want the whole family represented here. Phoebe, bring Lucy on in here. Yeah. There she is. Where are you off to, huh?
Well, they're going to take a picture.
Yeah, you're going to be in them. We're going to get ourselves a family portrait for free.
This ain't gonna help you stay in politics.
All right, fire away.
Polls show that you and Coke Stevenson are running so close that the state caucus may have to choose our next senator. What do you think?
Yeah, could be. Could be.
If the election is decided by the caucus, you really think that you can beat out old Coke?
Well, you people in the press been saying that I stuck my neck out to run against the governor. Well, now I'm saying that mine's longer.
Congressman Johnson, there have been rumors of certain irregularities in the registering of voters. Now, do you think this election is going to be a fair and honest one?
Well, I think you best be asking Mr. Coke Stevenson about that.
I was robbed out of this election, and I want this caucus to make it right. That bastard Johnson got his people to add names to his side of the vote. And every one of them damn names was off a tombstone in Duval County. Every damn one of them.
Why, Coke? Now, folks over in East Texas like you so much, they didn't vote for you just once. They came back again and again.
At which time we will vote on who our next senator is going to be. We are adjourned.
Get your hands off your boy.
Governor, how do you expect the vote will go?
My way.
I don't call that senatorial.
That's real funny, Peckerwood.
Let your damn hands off.
What the hell is the matter with you? Nothing.
Do you care to make a prediction, Congressman?
Yeah. The measure of an effective politician is how good he can count. And I predict I'm going to win this thing with 2 votes to spare.
Thank you.
We just lost one of them.
What are you talking about?
Joe Don Hooper's disappeared. I've looked at it.
This thing is too close, Billy Bob. Now, you find him if you have to search every bar and cat house in Fort Worth. And don't you come back here without him. Just get in here for the vote.
Johnson's got a war party out on one of his delegates, Joe Don Hooper.
Yeah, you just make sure that boy stays lost. You know what I mean?
Right, boss.
Any word on Hooper?
No, not yet.
Darling, Coke's inside watching them take the vote. Don't you think we should be...
All right.
Leave your hots.
Clyde B. Jr.
One proud vote for Governor Coke Stevens.
Clyde B. Jr. casts his vote for Governor Stevenson.
Come on, Joe Don. Come on, boy.
What's going on?
How are you? Joe Don, you got to vote for Lyndon, then you can come back and you can drink your insides out. Uh-oh.
We can't wait. You told me to have us a little ring
Hi.
Hey, amigo, cut the dust.
Oh.
Get in there.
How do you work his contraption?
All right then, Wellington, CJ.
Mr. Chairman, I vote prouder for Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Here we go, Joe Don. Almost home, boy.
Now, let's see. The vote stands at Johnson, 28, at Stevenson, 28, with one abstention. Now, that being the case, the chair wishes to ask Miss Verna Lee if she now wishes to cast the tie-breaking vote.
Well, I say to hell with both of them.
Well, seems as how we got a problem here, folks.
Come on, boy!
Whoa! What is all this?
Say it, Joe Don. Say it.
I vote to make Lyndon Baines Johnson our state senator.
This election was crooked as a book of snakes, and you could have broke that.
No, sir, Governor. I had nothing to do with anything like that.
Hold on, you can't park here. I'm the senator-elect from Texas. Sorry, these spaces are reserved for members with seniority. Yeah, well, then you just watch my car while I go inside and get me some.
Lunch with the National Democratic Committee, 1:30 caucus, 3 o'clock National Security briefing. Then you have Texas Club dinner at the showroom. You have to be in the receiving line at 5, and then your speech is at 8. Then dinner dancing until 1, and the Capitol Cloakroom has agreed to meet you at 1:30 to record Sunday's show.
1:30, okay.
And we'll be together after that.
All right. Make sure my speech is at the hotel by 6, and you can wear this dress every damn day of the week.
Will do.
Billy Bob, did you set up that dinner for me and Bird next week with our friend KRGV? We're ready to do a little shopping.
Oh, B.J. Sibley already has an option to buy that station.
He had an option. The FCC is going to disallow his proposal and approve mine.
Yeah, but what if the FCC...
Billy Bob, you just take care of the Danville Scalopini and let me handle the FCC, all right?
Yes, sir. No problem.
Yeah.
It's the White House, Sherman Adams.
Look, would you make sure that hospital bill for Billy Bob's mother's paid? Okay. Sherman, how are you? That's good. How's the president? Only 15 over par, huh? Say, Sherman, did you talk to him about McCarthy? Then he'll join us in that motion for censure? But doesn't Ike understand what's at stake here? I mean, well, McCarthy's got half the people in this country scared to death. I mean, that the man, I'm telling you, he's going to start burning books before long and trying to change the way this country's governed. Well, of course it's politically risky. We all know that, but the man's got to be stopped. Now, I want to put him on national television and expose SOB for what he really is. Sherman, look, if the President of the United States is going to act like a little-livered chicken on this, then damn it, we'll do it without him.
in the majority leader's office.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Jack Kennedy.
I know.
I don't have an appointment, but I was wondering if I could see the majority leader.
Well, he is very busy today, but I'll see if I can get you in just as soon as...
Would you answer that damn phone and bring me the ranch file?
Yes, sir.
Come on in here, Junior Senator. I suspect there's a bartender somewhere on that Irish family tree of yours, huh?
Yes, my father was in the whiskey business for a while.
Yeah, fairly successfully.
Barely. Can I sweeten that for you?
It's right over there.
I understand you divide senators into whales and minnows. I feel I don't belong to either.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll be wanting me a new category. How about rainbow trout, huh? Like the color and weight.
And hard to hook, Senator.
Where's that file I asked for?
If you're pressed for time,
I'll pull up a chair and tell me what you and Senator Clements were conspiring about this morning.
Well, he was just telling me how nothing escapes your notice.
I smell gas. You been eating those Boston beans? Well, might he also have suggested that you casually drop by and ask me a favor?
Yes, he's been very helpful.
So go on, ask.
You are assigning committees?
And you'd favor one with high visibility, say foreign relations or finance.
Foreign relations sounds very,
Excuse me, Senator.
Who's that on the telephone?
That was the airlines confirming your flight 17 for tomorrow.
Okay. Now, would you make sure that Senator Fulbright's riding with me out to the airport tomorrow to talk about Korea?
Yes, sir.
Oh, and don't go home till me and Jack are through visiting.
All right. Excuse me again, Senator.
Ain't she polite? He's obliging, too. He'll take dictation any time of day or night. Now we're talking committee. Huh?
Yes, I'd like one where I could put my Navy experience to use.
Oh, yeah. That's right, a war hero. Well, let me ponder it. Now, Jack, before you run along, I want to make sure that you're voting with the party against the amendments to the Taft-Hartley Act.
Unfortunately, that comes up for vote on Friday, and I've got to be in Boston. I have an engagement.
Well, break it.
I'm expected at a rather important...
I said break it.
I'm afraid it's a commitment.
Jack. Now, I want every Democratic senator on that floor voting together on this measure.
That won't make any difference. There is no way you can get Southern Neanderthals like Eastland and Russell to cast a pro-labor vote. It'd be easier to part the Red Sea.
Yeah, well, you just be present for the miracle.
I told you I can't.
Look, Jack, now, you want a good committee assignment, and I want your butt in your seat for that vote. And it'd sure be a waste of talent if you was to wind up some commerce subcommittee just doing grunt work.
What we have here is an exercise in raw power.
You want to be on my good side, son.
Down east, we call that sucking up.
Yeah, well, then, you best learn to suck up and suck up good.
SB 417 passes by 48 to 46.
Senator Clements, he'll sign his badge and put a pin in his hand and jiggle his arm.
And then, Hubert, you're a miracle worker. And I bet everything I own you couldn't get those old goats in line. And I'd lost my shirt.
Well, Hubert, you take care of those liberal bomb throwers of yours, and I'll handle the Dixiecrats, and together we'll get some things done around here.
Right.
Oh, you come see me later. I heard something in the strip mining lobby you ought to know about. Bill, how are you? Thanks for the vote. I really appreciate it. I won't forget it.
Neither will I.
Tom? Yeah, Lyndon? Look, where does SB 439 stand?
Deadlocked.
Look, get your fannies in emergency session and report that bill out by 4 o'clock or you're in the next term. You understand? Got it? All right. Do it again, eh, Lyndon? Congratulations. Just giving the taxpayers a day's work, Senator Kerr.
Say, I gotta talk to you about a new crop of calves I got for sale.
Oh, yeah? Is they as lame as that last bunch you sold me?
Impressive, isn't it?
I've been made to believe it today. Congratulations, Senator Moses. I confess, I didn't think you'd be able to pull it off.
Well, thanks for your support, Jack. You come talk to me next week about foreign relations. Come on, Earl, we got some gut busting to do down there at appropriations. He's a good-looking kid, isn't he? Yeah, I think he might have a future in politics. Oh, sir.
Phoebe, the paper's here and you can start breakfast.
Darling, it's so early and you're already starting.
Yeah, now let's not begin the day by criticizing.
Only out of love and concern.
You think I'm grouchy now? Imagine what I'd be like if I didn't smoke.
What I do imagine is what it would be like if you weren't here anymore.
Yeah, well, you don't have to carry the weight of the United States Senate on your back.
I carry part of it.
Yeah, I guess you do.
38 foreign ministers and 260 delegates representing 60 nations have completed their meetings.
How do you want your eggs?
I don't want eggs. I want my coffee, bacon, and a big dish of that fresh peach ice cream.
Well, now, Miss Johnson says you shouldn't be eating ice cream in the morning.
The Soviet Union by Vyacheslav Molotov.
Chief, I'm sorry I'm late.
Now, sit down. Let's get going. Did you bring me that report on the Russian Earth satellite?
Yes, I have it right here, sir.
Read it to me.
Our intelligence, backed up by other reliable sources, such as Aviation Week, is convinced the Russians are committed to leading us into space, certainly within the year. Obviously, propaganda gains from being first in space largely outweigh whatever scientific benefits such a small satellite might offer. The Russians are well aware of the impact a success of this magnitude would have in wooing, immersion, and as yet unaligned nations, especially.
Oh, that's fine, George.
Werner von Braun, though not directly.
I know that land's going to be worth a fortune when that Air Force base goes in, so I don't want to waste any time on it. I want to move ahead on it right away. So I'm giving you a 72-hour
Claims that
deadline.
any nation with a solid fuel.
No, that's it.
Capability could.
Well, George, look, you have a choice. You can get that land for me, or you can get fired. Who are you, the doodle bug? Baby, I need another coffee.
More ice cream? Lyndon.
Baby, you want to get fired?
What, again?
Daddy, I'm a bee in the school play. Don't you remember?
Well, of course I remember.
Then you're coming to see me tonight?
I'm sure I am. Mama's going to take you, and I may be just a little late, but I'll be there.
Daddy, you promised.
Lucy, I know, and I'll be there. Right, I'm supposed to be at the Browns for some Democratic fundraiser, but I'll make some excuse and leave after cocktails. Now, off you go.
Daddy, you broke it.
I'm sorry.
You broke my wing.
Honey, I didn't mean to. Millie Bob, who told you to stop reading?
Estimates are sketchy, but the figure of 3 kilograms of payload seems to be the most reliable, which would rule out any military application at the present time.
Hello.
The first American satellite would be little more than the
No,
size
sir,
of a
I'm
large
not having
grape
second thoughts about
could
that.
immediately begin transmitting valuable data near
It is my recollection that you asked me for a certain favor on that little transportation bill of yours, and my only request in return was that you be on the team for this one, and I'm going to hold you to that.
When asked how long...
I don't give a damn what the finance committee says. Do I have to coach the team and then run every pissant play for them? Do I have to call the signals and defend the line against F. Dirksen at the same time? Do I have to run my own interference and then go out and catch my own pass? Because there's not one member of my team on the field. Do I have to do it all? Do I have to run the offense and the defense? Punt, pass, block, run, score? Who the hell do you think you're talking to? Some ignorant country boy with tobacco juice on his shirt?
Chief? Lady Bird. Lady Bird!
got a visitor.
Oh, you know I'm not up to visitors. Get that dog out of here.
I wonder sometimes what you're up to. Shutting out everyone and everything. And on a day as lovely as this.
You're reproaching me, damn it. Don't get me worked up. I've got to have another one.
The doctors say you're fine. And all you need is to get out of bed.
Doctors don't know nothing.
Well, now, did my boy have a nice nap?
Oh, Mama, that noise out there.
They're finishing the swimming pool. And it'll be marvelous for your recuperation. Good exercise, no smoking, a sensible diet.
Oh, well, now. I don't think a little tapioca will hurt. Do you, Linda?
I doubt if I could lift a spoon.
Yeah. You just open up your mouth like you did when you were bitty.
Remember Daddy's burying? All the folks stood around singing, "We shall gather at the river."
It was a very moving moment.
The beautiful river.
I know the song, Lyndon.
I don't want mine that homespun. I won't mind farming. Marine band, senators for pallbearers. You can find 6 that don't have double hernias.
All Democrats are bipartisan.
On my grave here. And keep the stone simple, but tall enough to show that I made something out of myself in my few short years.
Lyndon, you know that kind of talk cuts me like a knife.
All the Johnson men die young.
Not as young as 47.
You know, maybe I better just write out my instructions and give them to somebody responsible. I've been thinking long and hard, Berg. I made up my mind. I'm resigning my Senate seat and retiring from public life.
Maybe that decision's not all yours to make.
It's my career, hell. You ought to be happy with me not out politicking every minute of the day and night. I'll be a gentleman farmer. Just what you always wanted. I'll raise some cattle. Maybe even take time to smell those flowers you're always talking about.
That was years ago.
You don't care how I'm suffering. Nobody does but my mama. She's the only one that ever really loved me.
How dare you say that?
Don't go provoking me now. You know what the doctor says.
Yes, that you will get completely well.
You're just after me for my life insurance.
Lyndon, stop it. I've had all the morbid talk and self-pity I'm going to take. I know you've been through an ordeal because I have been with you through every minute of it.
What do you...
No, don't talk. You listen. Lyndon, I have put my life at your disposal. Done everything you've asked me. Improved myself. Stretched myself to the very limits to be the wife you needed. And at times that called for more effort and more heartache than you will ever know. No, don't interrupt. Not this time. I'm proud of all that you've accomplished. But whatever happened to all your unfinished business, things you fought so hard for? Civil rights, health care, getting rid of poverty, education. You have a responsibility to go back there to Washington where you can make a difference.
Well, you won't have to bother shipping me home. My Navy duty qualifies me for Arlington.
Lyndon!
Can we get to the point here if there is one?
Don't you see? You can't ask me to go back to keeping house on Happy Hollow Lane. That's not me anymore. I'm a senator's wife. The man I love is a senator who says, can do. Can do! And I'm not going to feel the same way about some man who decides to spend the rest of his life cringing in bed waiting for the grave.
Now, just a damn minute
You
here.
used to say I was selling myself short. I was. Well, at this very minute, so are you. Lyndon, if you don't get back in the saddle and ride, your heart will stop. So get going, damn it. Get going.
I'm gonna take you down a peg, woman.
I can hardly wait.
Damn it, Bird. Just keep on loving me, honey.
Without mercy. Without mercy.
The leader's coming. The leader's coming. The leader's coming. The leader's coming.
How's he look? Thinner, not as ornery. What do you think we can expect? He seems a little slower, a little less sure.
Gentlemen, I think we better board up the windows and run for the storm cellar. I feel a tornado coming on.
He really is back. He's going to be more powerful than ever.
I'm already exhausted.
Have you heard the rumor? The Texas crowd is talking to him about loftier heights.
What do you mean?
Running for president?
He's never mentioned that.
Neither have you, Senator.
What the hell y'all looking at? Somebody die around here? Stop standing around like a bunch of cows and let's pass some legislation.
Times 25 cents. I had change coming.
Dad, noblesse oblige.
Old habits. Bobby's read this.
Picture flatters him. How about the article?
Oh, we're talking about both sides of the fence. In one paragraph, he's landslide Lyndon, who got elected to the Senate on the votes of 87 dead Mexicans. In the next paragraph, he's the most effective majority leader in the last 100 years.
I've seen him pull more rabbits out of his hat than Mandrake the magician.
Well, maybe you got the man wrong, Bobby. Jack seems to like him.
Oh, sure. Senators always speak well of each other. It's part of the club's bylaws. But look at Johnson's record. He's a cynical, power-hungry hypocrite. He proposes sweeping civil rights legislation to look good to the North, and then to look good to the South, he lets Senator Russell's bigots gut the legislation with cheap amendments.
Tell us what you really think, Bobby.
You know what really teased me off? Is the way he mouths sanctimonious concern for poor folks, while he's using his Senate seat to build himself an empire. I mean, he may have come to Washington poor, but they say that he's going to walk away from here the richest man in the history of the United States Senate.
I admire your steam, kiddo, but you're fogging the windows.
Well, my God, when a reputable magazine puts a moral eunuch on its cover and calls him presidential timber.
More to the point, is he going to run? It says here he told Ike he wouldn't trade desks with him for anything in the world.
Oh, my God, he wants the Oval Office so bad he can taste the wallpaper.
Why not take it upon yourself to find out? What if he has decided to run?
Then we'll show that cowboy what the Kennedys are really made of.
Tiny, hurry up with the car. We got us a Harvard boy who wants to shoot himself deer.
Morning, Mr. Kennedy.
Good morning. You're,
Phoebe.
Right.
I expect you wanted your coffee now?
That would be nice.
I hope you slept well last night after your long trip. Must have been after 1 o'clock before you all went to bed.
1:45 to be exact, and you were still up too.
Well, Mr. Johnson wanted to talk to me about something. Of course, I'm used to it. The senator runs on his own clock.
How long have you been with him?
Oh, more years than I'd like to think about. But it's always something to do. But we never seem to catch up, even if we worked all day and all night.
Hasn't Lyndon ever heard of the Emancipation Proclamation?
Mr. Kennedy, I don't take kindly to that way of talking.
Well, I didn't mean it quite that way. I guess I was, I guess I was just thinking about his record.
Well, at least he has a record. You know, the senator is just as strong as horseradish on civil rights. And if you've been in politics as long as I have, you know it ain't easy getting everybody to do everything you want them to do. And Mr. Johnson would rather win a convert than win an argument. And he talks to me about that all the time. And all the laws he's going to pass.
You mean when he's president?
It's Congress that passes the laws. The president just recommends them.
Come on now, Phoebe. I know a party line when I hear one. You can't tell me he hasn't talked about running next year.
I've got work to do, Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, there you are, Bobby. Come on, let's pick you out a firearm.
Your servants are very loyal.
Rich people have servants, Bobby. I have employees. Why go sniffing around my kitchen? If your daddy wants to know, why didn't he just ask me straight out? Senator, are you running for president?
Senator, are you running for president?
No.
Assuming that's true, I have to wonder why not. You've never been coy about taking the next step up the ladder.
How can you think of any reason why a sensible man would want that job? I've seen enough of the last 3 to know how much it weighs.
Surely your reluctance couldn't be anything like a case of cold feet.
Well, Bobby, it's like you Harvard lawyers always say. That's a moot point. The voters ain't gonna elect a poor boy from Austin any more than they are a rich boy from Boston.
Meaning a Catholic? You may be underestimating the religious tolerance in America.
Well, Jack's putting it to the test, and more power to him. Come on.
Anybody for an eye-opener?
Yeah, give me 3 fingers, Tiny. Bobby?
6 o'clock in the morning.
Well, we better get humping. Tiny, what do you think we ought to give this Harvard boy here? The 30-40 Crag, huh?
Too much gun. Try the Savage.
Look, if it's all the same, why don't we just skip this?
Oh, that's what Adlai said. You wouldn't want word getting around that one of old Joe Kennedy's boys is cut from the same piece of taffeta, would you?
You want me to prove my manhood by shooting Bambi? And for the record, I'm not a Harvard man. I got my degree from the University of Virginia.
Is that right? Well, today you're going to get your deer from Texas.
The hunters have entered the forest.
waiting for us.
Bobby, just go first.
Maybe I'm the worth of a shot. Here. Better give you this. I'm 70 with the scope. Can't mess with this baby, Bobby. Get out there. You got a lot to learn, boy. Like how to use a man's weapon.
Where's Johnson? You're not going to get away with sneaking this voting right bill by us, Lyndon. Not this time. And if you refuse to go through my committee, then we'll filibuster until hell freezes over.
John, now you and I both know that if that bill goes to committee, it'll never see the light of day again, and I'm not going to let that happen.
Damn it, Lyndon. You're wasting our time. The primaries are coming, and we all got to get back home and start politicking.
Well, we're going to stay here until we get this done.
You're pushing my people too hard. Asking them to stand cheek to jowl with coloreds in the voting booth. Now, let's wait till next session.
This country has waited 100 years for this bill, and it's not going to wait one more. It's time to decide if there's going to be one America or two. One black, one white.
Since when did Texas start leading the nation in rights for Negroes?
You know, John, Phoebe Wilson and her husband James, who have worked for me for many years, drove my car back from Texas last week. And they drove through your state. And when they got hungry, they pulled into a little grocery store in the colored area and ate beans out of a tin can with a plastic spoon. And when they had to go to the bathroom, they pulled down a side road, and Phoebe Wilson, an employee of the majority leader of the United States Senate, had to squat by the side of the road to pee. Now that is wrong, John. And if the good people of your state won't change it, we're going to change it for them. And we're going to start by guaranteeing them the right to vote.
Back it up because she wouldn't have had a road to pee in.
Excuse us, Senator.
Damn it.
The place smells like a bunkhouse. You're making a big mistake, Lyndon. I admire what you're doing, but you're screwing up your chances to be president by not making a decent run for the nomination.
A man can't go chasing around the country when he ought to be minding the store.
How do you expect to win convention delegates? They go to somebody like Kennedy, willing to fly out to Cheyenne, Wyoming, eat chicken dinner, kiss rump just to get some delegates.
Since when did you stop calling the junior senator Sonny Boy?
Since he won the Wisconsin primary. What you've got to get through your noggin, Kennedy is building up a full head of steam.
Well, so am I. I mean, the country's watching what's going on with this bill here, and when I pass it, I'm going to go in that convention looking like a statesman and not some boat-grubbing wheeler-dealer.
Lyndon, you could go there looking like God Almighty, but if Kennedy's got enough votes to win on the first ballot, you're dead.
Sam, I'm telling you, he's not that big a threat.
I would not run for it in any way if I felt that I couldn't do the job. That's why I want the job of president.
Damn. Kennedy makes us regular men look good.
Tell you this. I am sure that here in this state of West Virginia, that no one believes that I'd be a candidate for the presidency if I didn't think that I could meet my oath of office.
We're nearing the end of the voting on the first ballot of the 1960 Democratic Convention here in Los Angeles, and it looks as though Kennedy could walk away with the nomination. Let's go back to the floor for the voting.
Johnson, 5.5 votes. Kennedy, 15 votes.
Nancy, honey, how far's the roll call?
You, Tom. Kennedy's almost in.
Damn, look at him raiding delegates right and left. Got West Virginia from Humphrey and most of Wisconsin. How's the chief holding up?
Any change?
No. I did what I could, but Bobby Kennedy is like a Comanche with a hatchet. Anybody enough for Jack right now, tonight, is out. For the next 4 weeks, Bob Richards came to me.
Bob Richards, he's one of the strongest men we've got.
Not anymore, he's not. The man came to me with tears in his eyes. Said he couldn't hold the line.
Shut up that damn visitor out there!
At least Texas didn't cave in.
Magic number 761.
Only Wyoming can stop him.
Yeah, we'll take a look down there in the Wyoming delegation. See the grin on that Kennedy's kid brother? Like a jackal.
Here we go, back down to the floor. Well, folks, the ball game's over.
But Daddy Wyman's committed to you on the first ballot.
Sweetie pie, you've seen enough politics to know that when a bandwagon starts rolling, everybody jumps on it.
But why? If they promise, they...
So they're human. They're not going to pass up their chance to put Kennedy over the top.
Breaking a promise is wrong.
Yeah? It's going to be funny, too. Keep your eye on that chairman of the delegation there, Tracy McCracken. He's going to grab that microphone here in a minute, and he's going to say, Mr. Chairman, the big, flat, empty state of Wyoming proudly casts all 15 votes for the next president of the United States.
Aren't you mad?
At who? Make me a list.
Mr. Chairman, the great high plains state of
These Kennedys, they got it all. Looks, brains, money. Just doesn't seem right.
I know how hard this is for you.
No, I did it to myself. I forgot the first rule my daddy taught me. Seize the moment. I hung back and let that snot-nosed Bobby eat me for breakfast. It's over.
There's always the Senate. You can run for re-election.
Never having the same power. Well, the Knights turned Lyndon Johnson into a loser.
Not with me. Never with me.
These damn Kennedys.
Linda?
Lyndon, are you taken sick?
No. You can bet Jack's awake, too. He's right upstairs, arguing with Bobby and Arthur Goldberg and those cheese-eating intellectuals over his running mate.
Well, I wish them joy. Now come on back to bed and snuggle with me.
You gotta balance a ticket. That means a Protestant.
Governor Freeman?
Oh, he's from Minnesota. They need somebody with Southern ties.
Oh, Missouri. Senator Symington.
Somebody not overly liberal.
Well, then, Clint Anderson.
Somebody who's a national figure.
Lyndon, you are frightening me.
You know, those Catholics, they got 'em a saying. When God closes one door, he opens another. Hello?
You don't mean he accepted? Not yet. It's just an offer. I want you to clear him with the labor chiefs. Is that in order?
Look, anybody but Lyndon. It's a disaster. It's going to screw up everything we work for.
Kenny, let me remind you that if we win this election, it'll be by a very small margin. And I won't have the power to go up against Johnson in the Senate. I will have to kiss his rear for every single piece of miserable legislation that we plan to get through.
Johnson will take second place over Sam Rayburn's dead body.
I heard what's going on. Lyndon, if you accept, I'll get my deer rifle and shoot you right between the eyes.
Hold it. I'm giving him hell next. You just wait your turn.
Well, I'm tasting vile. Now, Jack Kennedy never passed but one bill worth of damn in his whole Senate career, and he never earned a nickel in his life. And to be leapfrogged over a self-made man like Lyndon, a man who pulled himself up from the bottom.
Lyndon, I need to talk to you right now.
Well, Walker Ruther's for me, but Soapy Williams is kicking like a bay steer.
This is going to be a private talk. You, me, and Lady Bird. Come on. Senator Kennedy phoned me about you going on the ticket.
Now, Mr. Sam, I know you're dead set against this, but this is the way I figure it. If I refuse and Jack loses, then I'm going to catch the blame. And if he wins without me, well, then there go the
Will you
oysters.
save your breath? I'm saying till you take his offer.
Well, last night you said not to.
I'm a wiser man this morning.
Whatever did Senator Kennedy say to change your mind?
Very simple. He asked me, do you want the next president to be Richard Nixon? Now, there's no way in God's world we're going to let that lying bastard run this country.
Bobby Kennedy's come down.
Oh, well, let him step right on in.
Lyndon, shouldn't someone else see why he's here?
Bobby, come on in here.
Hello, Bobby.
Johnson. Mr. Rayburn.
Must be all that coffee I've been drinking.
I've come from Jack. Senator, he wants you to release him from this morning's offer.
First you insult me with a consolation prize, and now you want that back, too.
What can I say? We hope you're a big enough man to put the best interests of the party above your own personal feelings.
Jack made a binding commitment.
Things change. As a practical politician, you know that. Jack didn't foresee the firestorm of opposition. All of his major supporters, the labor unions, the New York liberals, are all up in arms. They're threatening to contest your nomination by putting up another candidate.
That's suicide. Jack can't control his own people now. Nobody's going to vote for him in November.
You can't afford this fight either, Senator.
Listen to me, you little Harvard pipsqueak. Now, you pursue this, and you don't know what a fight is.
We have made up our mind.
You know something, Bobby? I think what the problem here is you're a little messed up on your pronouns. Every time you say we, my ears hear I.
I'm speaking for Jack. You agree to release him, and he's prepared to make it up to you with the chairmanship of the National Committee.
Bull.
Billy Bob, get Jack Kennedy on the line.
Lyndon Johnson calling.
Jack, this is Lyndon. Your brother's down here. He says you're double-crossing me on the vice presidency. Wants to talk to you.
It's me. Yes. But... Yes, Jay.
Morning, Evelyn. If Jack, President's ready to see me.
I'm afraid he's behind schedule, Mr. Vice President, so if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, hello, Lyndon.
Oh, hello, Bobby.
President, your brother's here. He says to go right in.
Oh, thank you, Evelyn. Evelyn, I'm afraid that we have to cancel the Vice President.
What are you, blind? I'm sitting right here. And I've been trying to talk to the President for 3 weeks about the supersonic transport program.
Yes, well, we looked into that, and I'm afraid it just doesn't fly for us.
Oh, that's clever, Bobby. And short-sighted. Now, we may have the leading technology now, but
Is
if we
there
don't...
a specific thought I could relay to the President for you?
Yeah. You can tell him from me that any jackass can kick a barn down, but it takes a carpenter to build one.
Of course. I'm sure he will find that very useful. By the way, Lyndon, the President asked me to convey his regrets and see if you would stand in for him this afternoon.
So then he looks down at his feet. And he looks out to the old man with the big white beard. And he stands there and says, "Father." The old man looks at him and goes, "Pinocchio."
Anybody have anything to do around here?
Just waiting for your lunch.
Work's all caught up, Chief.
Everything is secure.
And SWAT flies.
Full swing. There goes. Going over. Center field.
Oh, here you are, Lyndon. I'm up for my meeting.
Well, you still raising money for those damn daffodils to beautify our capital?
Yes, You be all right, won't you?
Yeah, go on. Have a good time.
I will.
I'll just sit here like a cut dog.
I know you're unhappy not having enough real work to do.
Keep having this dream. I'm chained to a chair. Bird, I try to give them the benefit of my experience, but they don't want it. Bobby knows Ivy Leaguers are deliberately freezing me out with Jack. Every shot they get, they make me out to look like some kind of cowboy clown. Keep reminding me that I went to Southwest Texas State instead of Harvard.
Now, don't take this wrong, sweetheart, but maybe you play into their hands by being too sensitive.
Oh, sensitive hell. I got elephant hide, but that don't mean I can't feel pygmy darts.
Well, since Bobby's the main troublemaker, what we want to do is change his attitude.
Yeah, I doubt that's possible.
Yeah, Dan. You've softened up lots of tougher customers. What I'll do is throw a little party where you and Bobby can go off in a corner and reason together.
That won't work. He hates me.
It won't work if you don't try. Now stand up and give me a kiss that'll last till I come home.
Here's something.
What a lovely, lovely party.
Thank you, Ethel. I'm so glad that you and Bobby could come.
Well, at least I think he came. I haven't seen him for some time.
He and Lyndon are in the library mending fences.
Are you giving odds?
Only hoping.
The point I'm making, Bobby, is that I've got more to contribute to this administration than I'm being allowed to give.
Lyndon, I know you feel underutilized and underappreciated. But you have to understand, when you're around Jack, you make him uncomfortable.
Oh, no. Now, look, Jack and I, we always got along just fine. Now, it's you and me that's got the differences. And I'm willing to swallow my pride, and I'm going to ask you to be a big enough man and put him aside. I'm ready to give Jack the benefit of all I know about making government work. But you're standing in my way. And I'm not asking for my sake. Believe me, I'm asking for your brother's sake. For the country's sake.
Well, it's generous of you, Lyndon, but we have the reins well in hand.
No, Bobby, you're dead wrong. Now, the Kennedy program is going down the drain in Congress. You take the President's Civil Rights Act. Now, portions of that bill are much too vague. It needs to be screened much more carefully.
I don't agree. Now, I've been over that bill thoroughly. Now, it's just a question of timing.
And substance. See, you all think you can go up there on the hill shooting from the hip and mow everybody down, but I'm telling you, Strom Thurmond and his boys are waiting for you, ready to cut off your outfit. You're never going to get that bill out of committee.
I thought you said you wanted to help. All I see is you sitting back attacking the president's program.
No, now look, I'm as strong for that program as you are, my friend. I'm just trying to warn you that everybody thinks you're just playing politics. Now, the president needs to make a firm moral commitment if he's going to get the support that he deserves. Now, he ought to go on TV in Mississippi, not Harlem, and look him in the eye. Give him an honor guard with a few niggers in it and let him point them out and say, if I can order these men into battle, I got to make it possible for them to live and work in this country.
I talked to
Now,
Jack.
the Southerners won't like it, but they'll respect his courage.
Jack and I
And they'll know that they're on the losing side of an issue of conscience. That's the way I handled it in the election. Hell, he knocked Bird's hat off.
No
They
wonder
got
Jack's
voted for it.
uneasy. You convey the impression you think you could run the Oval Office better than he can.
I mean, look, I'm not looking to be top dog. I'm just trying to help you and Jack. You got nothing to fear from me. Look, I got no more presidential ambitions burning a hole in me. Now, Bird and me, we plan to swap the Potomac for the Pedernales as soon as this Kennedy-Johnson administration's in the history books.
If retirement's attractive, you might consider moving up your timetable.
Why? Save you the trouble of dumping me off the ticket?
I don't have any plans to dump you off the ticket.
Bull. I got my sources' information just like you got yours. Except I'm not tapping your telephone.
That's only because you never had a chance. You know, this chat has been most illuminating. I was wrong about you, Lyndon. You're much more dangerous than I thought.
Yeah, well, that's exactly how I see you.
Well, I'm sure the best man will win.
He got me boxed in.
10th frame, darling. You want to pick up that spare.
Morning. This isn't a good time to talk to him. He's looking for a dog to kick.
Can't wait. Orders from the president. Mr. Vice President. Excuse me. The White House has asked me to brief you on plans for your trip with the president.
Well, you can tell him Uncle Cornpone's advice is to still stay home, which is what I'm going to do. It's not time to go. Feelings are running too high down there.
I'm sorry, but the decision's been made, and the president is counting on you going with him. Obviously, your presence will have a calming effect on all concerned.
You don't want my advice. You don't want my experience. You don't want anything to do with me. You just wait till the party starts falling apart and everybody starts yelling, "Where in the hell's Lyndon?"
When do we go? We leave the 21st. The first stop will be San Antonio, Houston, Fort Worth, and then Dallas.
Senator Yarborough is refusing to ride in a motorcade with Vice President over in Dallas.
You tell the senator to ride with Lyndon and he'll walk.
Damn Texans and their petty politics.
Lyndon, I'd say it's going rather well. What do you think?
I think I'd still like to have that meeting with you that keeps getting postponed.
I promise you it won't happen again. Well, Lyndon, alone at last.
I know Jack was only kidding. It's not him. But I want out.
That's fine with me. Sit me down.
Did you hear what I said? I'm fed up with those damn Harvards looking down their noses at me. And now some flyweight like Ralph Yarborough, he won't even be seen in my car. My God, Bert, I spent my life in politics. And here I am, stopped dead in my tracks at the mercy of other men's smallness. I'm at the end of my rope.
I know.
I'm not sure you understand me. I'm going to tell Jack I'm quitting. I'm going to retire. That's it. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I've seen it coming. It was only a matter of time.
What, before I failed?
Ever say that? I won't hear that kind of talk.
It's true.
How can you talk about failure with all that you've accomplished? You know what I want tomorrow on the way to the ranch? I want you to ask the pilot to fly us over all those old power dams.
Yeah, what the hell for, huh?
Because I think you need reminding of how many big things you've had a hand in over the last 25 years.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo.
I'm your wife, Lyndon, and I'm prejudiced. But I don't think you fully realize how long a shadow you've cast.
What about you? The worst of it is I have this terrible feeling that I failed you.
How can you say that after all you've done for me?
Yeah, well.
You remember that little girl who was supposed to marry a feed and grain dealer and live out the rest of her life in Karnak, Texas?
Yeah.
Well, if it weren't for you, that's just where I'd be. When I think of how you dragged me kicking into the modern world. You know, when people ask me, what is Lyndon's greatest single achievement? I say, me.
Well, if we just go back and sit on the banks of Pedernales, aren't I taking all that away from you?
No one can take that away from me.
Always did like your neck.
Me too. Keeps my head on.
It's funny. It's as if I can feel something sliding off my shoulders. Like those wet winter blankets we used to take off the mules when I was a boy. They're so heavy. All these years, I never minded carrying the weight. I welcomed it. Seems like my whole life I just had one thought. Get to the top. And now here I am, about to turn my back on everything and just walk away. The only thing I have left is you.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing's wrong with that. You hear me?
I hope so.
There's one thing I never really said to you before, and I should have. I need you, Bird. God, I need you. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Darling, I'm never going to give you the chance to find out.
And here is a flash from the Associated Press in Dallas. The Associated Press reports that the president was seriously wounded. I repeat, the Associated Press reports from Dallas.
The president's been taken into surgery, that's all we know. Sir, we have no way of knowing whether this is a crackpot or a conspiracy.
How's Jackie?
Like a drift of pink blossoms.
Excuse me, Mr. President.
Are you telling me?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I thought you knew.
Does Bobby know?
We're
taking care of that if the FBI hasn't already. Sir, I'd like your permission to inform the press what's happened.
No. I think you better hold off on that.
I don't see how we can keep this a secret much longer.
Well, that's the way I see it. Jack is dead. Dean Rusk and half the cabinet are on their way to Japan. And I'm bottled up here. I pray that this isn't some sort of a conspiracy, but I think we'd best work under that assumption. That means that my first priority is to get out to Air Force One where there's communications gear that'll put me in touch with the situation room back in Washington. You hold off on your announcement till I'm on my way.
No sirens, damn it! Tell those morons to turn them off!
Get the window shades down.
All right, let's go get those shades down now. So be sure to secure that hatch.
Get me the Attorney General on the phone. I want to ask Bobby how I go about taking those of office right away.
Here in Dallas?
I know how it's going to look to Jack's people. They'll see anything I do as a paragraph.
No, Linda,
I don't want there to be any doubts now or later that what I do has the force of law. And we have to show them that they can kill the man, but not the government.
Yes, Mr. President.
Could you get word to the pilot this plane doesn't take off until the President and Mrs. Kennedy are on board?
Yes, Mr. President.
Connect me with the Attorney General of the United States. Interrupt. The President calling.
Mrs. Kennedy, would you like some help changing? I'll get somebody.
Oh, no. I want the world to see what they've done.
Judge Sarah Hughes.
How do you do? Now repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of the President of the United States,
the office of the President of the United States,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve,
protect,
and defend
the
Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Lyndon Baines Johnson, 36th President of the United States, was responsible for passing more landmark legislation than any other president in our nation's history. In 1964, he was elected to the presidency by the largest popular majority ever recorded. But just 4 years later, on March 31st, 1968, with the war in Vietnam ever escalating, Lyndon Johnson announced to the nation that he would not seek or accept the nomination for another term as president. He withdrew forever from public life.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help us produce more compelling historical content like this, please like, comment below, and share this video with fellow history buffs. And of course, be sure to subscribe to help keep history happening.